the type of game that I want to play when playing a TTRPG, my game is more important than everyone else at the table. Give it a second. Now let's add context. As a dungeon master, if you set the expectations in session 0, the type of game we're going to be playing as a cooperative, whatever based game, and then halfway through the game, you as the dungeon master decided you want to pit the players against one another, if that wasn't some kind of expectation, and I say, hey, I'm really not okay with the infighting here, and you're like, well, that's part of the game, I'm allowed to walk away. If I'm investing my time on a table, I don't have to show up if I'm not having fun. If the expectations were set and then broken, not only am I within my rights, I'm encouraging that behavior to walk away. Setting the expectations is different than just having fun. But that's a lot of times what happens is players don't really like the direction they went, and so instead of talking to people, they walk off the table. They have every right to, because they don't want conflict. It's not something they want. As a dungeon master, the same thing goes. If I set the expectations very clearly on the type of game that I wanted to run, and all of a sudden you guys, as my players, are like, you know what, we're going to go and do a city intrigue game because we want to get involved with the politics of this, and we are doing a dungeon delving style of game, I don't have to continue to run that game. And a lot of times we feel with, it's called a sunken cost fallacy. We put in this time, so we should continue to play. No. If the expectations of that table have been broken, you don't have to see it through. In fact, if you're no longer having fun at the table, you should bring that up to the game master. Maybe you were interested in dark, grim intrigue, and now you're just not liking it anymore. You are not required to stay at that table, even though 4 to 5 other people may be hindered by that. You are not supposed to be held hostage. You are allowed to leave. The dungeon masters are allowed to shut down games. Players are allowed to quit playing if they're not having fun. And there's lots of things that can cause that. Should you talk about it first? Yeah, absolutely. Could you be having fun? Absolutely. But it's not a requirement. Your fun is paramount. If you're not having fun, you do not have to stay, and nobody should be making you feel guilty for continuing to play or run a game if you're not having fun. Are there steps we can take? Can we be a big person and talk to the people about it? Yes, but if you feel like that's going to bring conflict and you don't want to deal with that conflict, you can bow out. And there's nothing wrong with that. Is there nuance to this topic? Certainly there is. But the bottom line is, if we're going to be investing our time, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of our time in a given day, it should be something we want to do. We should never be forced to play or dungeon master a game because of others.